Hi, my name is Adam Lorenz, and I'm here to tell you a story. A scary story. But not really. In all honesty, my name really is Adam Lorenz, and the story you're about to hear may or may not be scary. That's up to you. So, there's this place close to where I live. I'm from the same hometown as Gwen, and it's called the Seven Gates of Hell, quote unquote. It's got a lot of legends about its history, but in reality, at this point, it's just a horse gate. It used to be, supposedly, a series of several iron gates that led back to this guy's house. Teenagers kept defacing his expensive iron gates that he had shipped in from somewhere else in the country or overseas or something. So he made up a story to scare them away. In reality, it really didn't scare them away. It just brought them closer. The story is that there was an insane asylum back there. And one day, that insane asylum burned down and created all of this spiritual energy and whatnot back behind these gates. So, now, kids go back there under the impression that it's haunted. There's also a legend that after you pass the first gate, which is the only one that's still there, every series of steps you take, there's another gate, and another gate, and another gate. A total of 7. And after the 7th gate, you go to hell.
So the one time we went back to the Seven Gates, and we went with a big group of people, and our one friend Tyler, he kept hiding and trying to scare us. And we saw, he disappeared for the 3rd time. And we saw to the left of the road, headed back from the Seven Gates, a blue light. It looked like someone had their cell phone lit up, hidden under their sweatshirt or something. This is exactly what it looked like. There were 3 of us here. I think it was Hunter and Adam. And we saw the light, and we walked over to him, really yelling, Tyler, get up, we can see your phone, you're being an idiot. And there was no one there, and Tyler just gets up and he's like, dude, that's not me. So we were all freaking out, oh my gosh, this isn't actually Tyler, what was that light? So we think that maybe it was some sort of orb or something. It was really creepy.
One time, I went over to this friend's house. There's 3 of my good friends that live there, and one of them that lives up the road, so we always hang out there on Friday, Saturday nights, whatever. And we were like, okay, there's a 7 Gates thing going on back here. Everyone always talks about it. It's creepy. We're teenagers. We're 17 years old at the time. It's, 2-3 years ago, whatever. And so we decided to go. We decided to check it out, see if there's anything to this. So we started walking. It's late. We're technically not supposed to be out this late, walking on the roads. Technically, we still have a curfew, however old we were, 16, 17. And so we're just walking. We're having a good time. And we see the headlights of a car start coming up over the hill behind us. So we're watching this car, and we kind of step off to the side of the road to let it pass and whatever. And we just see the edge of the headlights, the lamps themselves, come up over the top of the hill. And it disappeared. It went into thin air. It was a little weird, but we still had our heads on straight at this point. We thought, well, maybe it could have turned into a driveway. There are really very few driveways back there. It's basically just straight, thick woods. It's just kind of a trail, road through the woods. And we thought, okay, maybe it turned into this one driveway that it could have, maybe. But there was really only one driveway. So we kept going. We're a little bit nervous at this point. It's kind of creepy. But we kept going. We walked another half mile, something like that. And we got close to the gates themselves. The air is always a little creepy back there, for one thing. And maybe that's our minds playing tricks with us or whatever. But it was definitely a little bit, a little bit shivery, a little bit creepy. And we see a car coming around this bend. Now, mind you, the gates are right at the corner of this bend. So we see a car coming around the bend. It's late at this point. It's probably 1 o'clock in the morning. Uh, and it's coming around. We see the whole car this time. It's not just, the glow of the headlights or whatever. We see it, we see its lights, we see it coming around, and it's making the bend towards us. So, like I said, we're not supposed to be out right now. And we step off into the woods, and we sit down. At this point, the car was right below us, excuse me, at the bottom of a hill. Not a real steep hill, not a real long hill. But it's just steep enough for us to lose sight of the car for 1 or 2 seconds when we sit down. So we sat down, and we can still see the glow of the headlights and hear the engine and everything at this point. The car is probably 50 to 100 feet from us at this point. And we can hear it coming right up on us, and we're just waiting for it to pass. That car never came up over that hill. We waited a few seconds, maybe up to a minute. We were like, that car should have come over that hill by now. We thought maybe they pulled off to the side, whatever. We stood up. There was nowhere for it to go. It's woods on one side and woods on the other side. There's no driveways. There is one driveway, but it's fenced off, and no one goes in there. It's an abandoned property. And they would have been like 15 feet from us if they were going in that driveway. We were right by it. So it didn't go in there. There was no place for it to pull off to the side, even, not anything. So we're like, okay, this is really weird. We're scared. We're creeped out. We didn't even make it to the gates that night. We turned our tails around and we ran home. That's my story of the 7 gates.